So how should you hold your hands on the steering wheel? This is the question that a lot of beginner drivers ask, and the answer is not so clear. First of all, in driving schools they say you should keep your hands in the position 9-3. So if you imagine the clock here, this is the 9 o'clock, this is 3 o'clock, and you hold your hands like this. Also, some driving instructors will tell you that you should hold your hands like this. This position is called 10-2 because 10 o'clock, 2 o'clock, yeah. And you can find some internet experts, they will say 8-5 is a great position. First of all, 8-5 is the worst position you can use. In this position, your hands and arms will always be in tension, and you will have to use a lot of power to control your vehicle. So the best position in modern vehicles is 9-3, but I will explain you later what you need to do in order to make this position really convenient for you. The 10-2 position is also okay, but in modern cars, it's not necessary to raise your hands, raise your arms and hands so high. In older vehicles, we didn't have power steering. It made steering really hard, difficult. So you had to use both your hands to turn the steering wheel, especially when your car was stationary. Now all vehicles have electric power steering, and you don't need to hold your hands here, because if you do this, your hands, your arms will feel a lot of tension. So for driving your car safely, the 9-3 position is the best. But one thing you should know is that when holding your hands in the 9-3 position, your hands and arms should be relaxed, your elbows should be down. You shouldn't hold your steering wheel like it's gonna disappear somewhere if you don't hold it. You should just put your hands and use your thumbs to hold the steering wheel and relax your hands. This way you will feel the direction where the car goes. This way you will be ready to react on anything that's happening on the road. There is another tip. You should set your steering wheel so that the 9-3 position is really convenient for you. So change the height of your steering wheel and use it so that your hands are not raised really high and are not really low. Originally, when people teach you how to drive, they say hold your steering wheel at all times. So you should hold it at all times. Whatever you do, you shouldn't let it run through your hands. And actually, when you are passing your driving test, this is very important, because sometimes when you let the steering wheel run through your hands, you may fail this test, you may fail the driving test. Sometimes people don't pay attention to it, but really in some cases this may be the reason why you don't get your driving license. Also, a lot of people ask if they can use one hand and one arm to control their cars. And the answer is yes, you can, but on the highways. On the highways you will sit comfortably, and maybe your one hand will rest somewhere here, and one hand will be used in different positions to control the steering. But there is one big thing to remember. If you drive like this, if your hand is located between you and the airbag, this is not a very good idea, because if you get into the accident or something happens with the safety system of your car and the airbag deploys, what you will do, you will kick yourself, and there is a high chance that you will get some injury. At least your arm will not like this idea. So make sure that you don't drive like this. Make sure that there is nothing between the airbag and your face. And also check if you can react. So a lot of people will drive barely holding the steering wheel, carelessly steering their cars. This is not the best idea, because you may easily hit some pedestrian who decides to cross the road in the wrong place, or you may just not react when you need to turn, and this will lead to a huge problem, to accidents, to some trouble that you may avoid if you just use both your hands for steering your car. But if you're steering with only one hand, please don't use this technique. When you're putting your hand like this, it's really hard for you to control the direction of your car. You will not feel this direction, and unless you have really a lot of experience in driving, you will probably fail to catch this direction correctly all the time. And that is one thing I will show you that people in sport use, people in racing sport use. So they use this 9-3 position most of the time, and when they turn, their other hands will also catch the wheel in the 9-3 position. So whenever they turn, they will do like that. Why? Because in this way they can easily turn it back to zero. When you turn it back to zero, you don't need to catch this zero position all the time. You save your time, but you will not need it in normal city driving, so you may catch it somewhere somewhere here or somewhere here. The wrong thing to do is to turn your steering wheel like that. This is the number one problem of starting drivers, because I'm doing it for 20 seconds and I'm already exhausted. And this is not really effective, so don't do this. And the other thing that I see people doing is try to turn the steering wheel with only one hand, just like this. Well, this is very dangerous. If you do this, there is a high chance that you will lose steering wheel and your car will go in some unknown direction. So you will need to catch the steering wheel, and this can lead to some accidents and some really bad situations. So don't do this, please. Although the position 9-3 is the best, one of the mistakes that people are doing is holding their hands on the steering wheel at all times when they're sitting in the car. What you need to do is, once you stop, once you don't move, you stop at traffic light, or you're sitting and waiting for someone to get into your car, you may just let off the steering wheel. You may put your hands here, use your armrest for your arm, and give your hands some time to improve the blood flow.